Hi, and welcome to Inner Voice Power special with Karen. Today I'm on a trip, and you see me from a camper, a few days of holiday here in close by Hanover in Germany. And today I like to share with you a case. The lady who came to me, the woman, she said, like, Karen, I'm hated for helping other people to grow. So I was, of course, very curious, like hated for other people helping to grow. There is, of course, a lot of work to be done here. Yeah. So when we are approaching it with the New X approach, yeah, so when there is resistance in the receiving of our help, yeah, um, she could actually tell what she wanted, and she was nice, she was not a rude person or something and shouting and stuff like that, yeah, but she was telling things what was perhaps inconvenient for people, and there are people who like shortcuts, who like the easy way, and making sometimes work for colleagues difficult. And of course, as a team leader or a manager, you have to do something about that. Yeah, and people sometimes don't like it. And with her, it was that she really felt she had to say something about it. She felt a huge force, which tells me that it is also part of her authentic expression, meaning this is part of who she is. And before she came to me, she tried to be more relaxed and to be nicer, and she learned all kinds of management skills. But what she didn't change was the energy which she was approaching her team, the team members that are actually trying to do the shortcuttings. And that is the essential point. So don't try to be something else. Don't try to be nicer and try to, on the behavioral level to change something. Here it's what you do. You have a quality. And this quality in her case, yeah, is simply doing what is needed to be done, even if you're not liked for it. It is more important, yeah, that things are going in the right direction, yeah, what needs to be done, than that you are liked for it. Okay, so why was it a trigger to her? In the young years, yeah, she was, forced is a big word, but it was part of her daily life that she was taking care of her younger siblings, and when things went wrong, she was held responsible and she was punished for it. She should have looked out better, that no mistakes are done. So, and this is of course overwhelming for a child. And this is something that we need to understand. When we have a certain trait, yeah, and it is, you might remember that from earlier videos on, every trait that we do have, every trait, no exception at all, yeah, has a capacity to be destructive, meaning it doesn't work for us and it doesn't work for others. And it has also the capacity to be constructive, meaning it works for yourself and it works for others. When it's destructive, fear is involved. Yeah, there is a push power in it. You have to do it, and you also still will have to do it when it's part of your nature. Yeah, you will still do it, but it's the essence of it. And the essence of this one is simply doing what needs to be done, regardless if you're liked for it or not. Yeah, and when you have it in a developed way, it is even like to inspire others towards actions, yeah, even if you are not really liked for it, yeah. It's unconditional giving, basically. And that is made because we were not liked, we were not liked for doing what we did. And someone who is not liked for doing what he did or does, yeah, has the capacity to do it. We need to understand that everything that we do is also a capacity. It's not a mistake, but when it's not working, it's an underdeveloped capacity, when it's not constructive yet. So when you are used, yeah, to be, she said, I'm hated for it, this is of course, yeah, she was hated. She felt hated. If she really was hated, I don't know, but I know that people who are making life inconvenient for others, they're not liked, yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, she might not have been hated, but she felt like that, yeah. But what was worse is when she tried to do it in a different way, she felt so much guilt. She felt so guilty that she had to say something about it, yeah. And that tells us that it is a part of her really true nature. When she decided and when she saw, yeah, that this is a trait that she has and that she shouldn't try to do it, to stop doing it. Yeah, don't, when you have something that you do compulsively, which is really something that you can't, you cannot not do. Yeah, it's always a part of your nature. It belongs to your authentic expression. And what you need to do is to develop it further, meaning you lift it out of the fear-based into the constructive side. And it is easier to do that when we see the essence of it. And of course, it is good to do what is needed to be done, yeah, even if it is not convenient to you and you don't have a direct gain out of it. We wish that more people would do that, yeah. Then, especially in development work, which are most of my clients and participants of my programs are, yeah. It would be great if it would be like that, yeah. So here she developed it further, and what was changing were two things. Once it changed her energy when she was doing it. Yeah, she did not have to force herself to be nice, but she could make space for the other one and could just share it, because there was not anymore the fear, like, oh gosh, when this person does not change his behavior now, then very bad things will happen to me, like the recallings of the past when she was young and punished when she did not take well care of the siblings not making any mistakes. Yeah, so we always refer to inner movies from our own past, when we are going into the present moment, yeah, when we feel force in it, when we don't feel that, not force with it, when we feel fear with it, yeah, and that we feel very uncomfortable. In her case, yeah, guilt when she didn't do it. So once she developed it further, the second part was that she did feel more relaxed in it. She felt that she could make space for the other one to do it or don't do it, which also was making that her team members, the ones she had to lead, yeah, didn't feel the pressure that they had to behave well in order for her to feel good, but for the benefits of the program, yeah, for taking, let me say, in respect of the colleagues, because delay in delivering certain aspects of a project is always very, yeah, it's a high discomfort and a concern of trouble, yeah. So that she could address it in a different way with a different energy, and then people also could receive it in a different way. It made a huge change how she felt about it by herself, but she was still doing it more or less in the very same way as before, but the energy she brought into it for herself and for the other one was spacious, and it changed how it was received. And of course, it is not always that every person at once, you develop it further and everyone is happy with you. Yeah, it is not happening like that, because people also remember us as they have it stored in their head. Yeah, so some people just see you and they say, oh, this is this person who is always blah 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 blah. Yeah, we need to respect that as well. Yeah, it is also not that we develop in order that everyone likes us or that people don't hate us anymore. We accept that we are who we are, and this is part of our nature, and that we do it because this is our part of the puzzle as we contribute. And when we do that proudly, it changes the way as we do it, and it changes also the way as we see other people respond to it. We see that when people respond positively to it, it's nice, it's a gift. When people don't respond positively to it, it's also okay. Yeah. And of course, sometimes there are consequences. I mean, when you're a manager and someone is really sabotaging a team, there are consequences to it. Yeah. Of course, we know that. But then it's not to our own protection, but it's then truly to the protection of the team. Yeah. And that is also what the team feels. The team feels strengthened by you. And that is a huge difference. Yeah. Here. So the essence of the behavior was to do what needed to be done, regardless if you're liked for it or not. Yeah. And that is something that of course is determined, yeah, by your own values of what you think is needed to be done. Yeah. and and that is fair enough. Yeah, this is your truth and this is fair enough to do it. But once you develop it, it changes the energy and it changes how you feel while doing it, and also how it can be received, and it changes totally the way how you are managing your team. So if you also have a certain trait, contact me, and I'd love to coach you in that in one of my programs. Looking forward to meet you somewhere.